I get it, certain times you have to really hope that luck's on your side, but for the most part, you have to control what you can control, and you can really make sure and do whatever you can so the outcome is in your clients' and candidates' favor. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Preston. I've been running my own tech recruiting agency for the past decade, here to provide you value. In today's video, we're all about what I wish I knew before starting my recruiting agency. And before we get into it, if you are excited as I am to get started, please feel free to support a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. Really means a lot. Let's dive in. Quick disclaimer, this is based on my own experience and what worked for me. What worked for me won't necessarily work for you, but I hope it does. Here to provide you value so that you guys can crush it, and maybe one day we can work and collaborate together. Apologies in advance for any spelling or grammatical errors as well. So for those who are unfamiliar with my background, I actually started my career almost a decade ago at a nationwide US staffing agency. Literally started from the bottom, joined a startup team in the New York office, and in a little over 1 year, I was able to go literally from the bottom to one of the top producers out of 300 nationwide recruiters, build over $500,000 on my own desk, no handout, straight up building relationships from the ground up with clients and candidates and making it happen, and also surpassing $100,000 in 1 month. Shortly after that, decided to start my own career doing solo. For many years, I was just by myself, by choice. I love traveling, I love the flexibility, and somehow was able to duplicate what I did at my job, was able to clear over $500,000 on my own desk, a little about 22, 23 full-time direct placements, cleared about $500,000, all on my desk again, no VAs at that time, no part-time help at that time, just myself understanding and staying true to the fundamentals and doing my best. Only until the past year we started hiring full-time on our team, now focused on expansion and scaling, and since then, happy to say and grateful to say also did multiple 7 figures worth of placements since I started. Now, with that said, let's talk about the first thing. So when it comes to recruiting agencies, you have to be mentally strong. And this is, I think, applicable to any types of businesses out there, not just recruiting. What I mean by mentally strong is that you can be your greatest weapon or your greatest enemy. You have to battle constant distractions, whether it's hanging out with your boyfriend or girlfriend, going out with friends, maybe you're watching too many YouTube shows or Netflix shows, you're just lazy, you're just not in the mood, so you decide, hey, I'm my own boss, I'm just not gonna work today. Or most importantly, and this is to my heart, you are not consistent. So what does that mean? Literally in simple terms, you work hard on Mondays, sometimes you work hard on Tuesday, maybe you slack on Wednesday, you chill on Thursday, and then you work 20% on Friday. Next week, maybe you skip Monday, you do 50% capacity on Tuesday, 30% capacity on Wednesday, you work hard on Thursday, you don't work at all on Friday, rinse and repeat, not really having a consistent routine or a schedule. In the recruiting business, learning how to do just biz dev, lead generation on one end, and learning how to do also candidate sourcing on the other end doesn't necessarily mean you are going to run and operate a successful business. It completely skips and ignores the fact that there is a huge mental and psychological component that I'm trying to shed to light to you right now that is going to actually be the hardest thing that you're going to have to learn how to manage and deal with every single day. In a business, and again, this applies to all businesses, jobs, and freelancing, you have to show up every day. If you want to see measurable progress and success, you have to be consistent. You have to show up even if you don't want to, if you're feeling underneath the weather, because honestly, if you start out and it's just you, you have no other employees to rely on, you have no other partner to rely on. If you stop, your business stops. And so for me, I told myself, if I'm going to start this thing, I want to show up every single day for a certain amount of time. You also have to go all in and make sacrifices. When it comes to business, it's so easy to be distracted saying, oh, I'm going to do recruiting business part-time, I'm going to do e-com business part-time, I'm going to go into real estate, I'm going to start a fashion line, and I'm going to be successful in all of those things. I don't know if that's even possible to be successful in let alone 2 businesses or 3 at the same time. If it is, you and I might have a different definition of success. So the first thing you need to do is redefine, what does success mean to you? Are you happy making $1,000, $5,000, part-time income or full-time income? Are you happy to make 6 figures or you want more? I think it's extremely difficult to make 6 figures, 7 figures plus in multiple businesses at the same time. One business is all-consuming. One business should be the only thing on your mind. And in my opinion, you may disagree with me, I think the best way to go about it is focus, go all in on one thing and grow it to as big as possible. And then at that point, you can determine if you want to start other sources of income or other sorts of ventures. Running a recruiting agency is all-consuming, not just the nature of the business, but it's just business in general. And so for you to be able to split up your time with other distractions and ventures, you're just going to spread yourself out too thin. You also just have to be willing to make sacrifices. So I'm talk about this all the time, that when I started, I worked 7 days a week, long hours every single day. Really, really happy that my then fiance, now wife at the time, was very supportive, understanding. Same thing with my family. And if you think that you can make a full-time income from a business you have no prior experience with, and doing that 30, 20 hours a week, like that's probably not going to happen. If you're okay with part-time income, maybe that's more realistic. But if you're looking to make a lot of money, full-time income, you want to have a tremendous amount of success, you have to be realistic with your expectations. You also have to be willing, and this is the biggest thing, to be willing to handle constant failure, like constant stress, and just overall changing market conditions, forcing you to pivot here, adapt here, go more aggressive, be more on defense, be more offensive. Whatever's happening, you have to constantly stay on top of the pulse of the market. If you are prone to just anxiety, or just you have a hot temper, or you're just impatient and you can just freak out or panic too easily, running a business is going to put your back into a corner and have you confront that over and over and over again. And if you think you can't hack it, that might be too difficult, then you might have to reconsider running a business altogether. Just trying to be as transparent and honest with you as much as possible. So the first thing is you have to be mentally strong. You have to know exactly what you're getting yourself into. This is not a job. This is not a part-time job. It's not freelancing. If you're looking to start something and hoping to kind of create a successful, profitable business and scale down the line, you have to be okay with the immense amount of emotional, psychological, and mental pressures and responsibilities that you're going to deal with every single day. The second thing that you have to deal with when running a business is that things can change fast and unpredictable, for better or for worse, right? You could have one amazing month followed by many poor months or a year. You could have one amazing client that decides to just drop you out of the blue. You can have one amazing candidate and you're like, wow, I'm gonna get this job done, I'm gonna celebrate with my team, and then they just ghost you or they get another job. You have a candidate that accept your offer, but then they never showed up on the first day of work, or decide to somehow continue interviewing after they verbally accepted and now they have another job. Things can change constantly, and you have to be willing to not only adapt to the highs, but also be ready and manage the lows as much as possible. You have to be quick, you have to be agile, and if you're set in stone and unwilling to learn new processes and systems, or to attack a new type of market or an opportunity, you have to be able to pivot and change quickly and keep progressing, because if not, you're gonna have a lot of difficult times when things change constantly on you, and you can't be married to one thing, you can't be set in stone another way. You have to be agile, lean, and move quick. The third thing is speed is king. In the recruiting industry, in the staffing industry, you are competing all the time. So if you're on the staffing side, you're competing against other third-party recruiting agencies, you're competing against other hiring platforms, you're competing against also your client's most likely internal talent acquisition team. If you're on the internal corporate side, you're also competing against other channels and other team members as well. Speed is king. You have to move fast, because no matter what tools, technology channels you use, you have to be fast in finding that talent, to get that talent, to start interviewing in the process, to manage that whole process, hoping to get them from A to Z to negotiations offer as fast as possible. Just because you have an open rec doesn't mean you will close it. So your colleague can close it, another competitor can close it. So just because you have an offer, that's where the real mission starts. That's where the hard work kicks in, and that's where you have to really put on your game face and then operate with an extreme sense of urgency to do whatever you can to get that job done. You have to move fast. You have to be quick. If not, you're gonna lose your job over and over and over again, and that might just be very, very difficult for you. You have to be able to move on quickly. If you lose out on the job, not be emotional about it, get back on your feet and attack another job all over again, rinse and repeat, embrace the journey, go fast. The next point is you have to willingly be on call. So I think whether you're at a job or you're on the staffing side, recruiters, we are the middle person where we offer, hopefully, a 5-star, almost like a concierge white glove service to the candidates. It's just one thing finding the candidates, it's a whole nother thing working with them and managing the entire interview process with them every step of the way. A process can be long. a process can change quickly. Interviews can be canceled. Things have to be rescheduled. When things progress to the later stage, when we're talking about negotiations or offers, that's when it's really, really important for you to be on call so you can help and prep the candidates to negotiate. You can help the company close your candidate. You can help maintain the excitement of the candidate. You can help answer questions. You have to basically be accessible and be around to help in any way possible. If you're gone, if you're off the grid, that increases the chance of your candidate not getting the offer or getting an offer they're not happy with, your client progressing with another candidate, not yours, the interview process taking much longer than it actually should. Things just slowly unravel and gets out of control and becomes chaotic and slow like molasses, and you do not want that to happen. So when things happen, when fires happen, negotiations, emergencies, high touch points, you have to be accessible. Whether or not you're on vacation, whether or not you're on a different time zone, you have to adapt and be accessible to a certain point. I think when I first started, I was a solo recruiter, and one of the most difficult things that I had to deal with, but later learned to kind of get better with, is that when I'm on vacation, a part of me just had to always be online, especially if I knew I had a process or two that was at the end stage. That's when the clients really need you. That's when the candidates really need you. And if you're not there, you're not only foregoing the opportunity to provide the best experience to both your client and candidates, but anything that you can help with, you're just going to drop the ball, treat everything like a lottery, and hope like the cards just fall your way. I get it. Certain times you have to really hope that luck's on your side, but for the most part, you have to control what you can control, and you can really make sure and do whatever you can so the outcome is in your client's and candidate's favor. If you are, again, accessible, you risk providing a bad experience, you risk losing a placement and risk losing money, and nobody wants it to happen. So you need to always make yourself available, right? Not 24/7, but you have to be willing and open to put yourself in a situation where if you know if you're going to take some time off, you're on the road, if you have a candidate that is going through process, that's later in stage in the process, you just have to do whatever you can to be there, because I promise you, if you focus on long-term, good experience, rinse and repeat, then candidate having good experience with you right now, that will be in and of itself create an opportunity for more future positive experience with that candidate down the line. Perhaps they can intro you to other candidates, intro you to other clients. Maybe your candidate will become another client. If you keep dropping the ball, then you're not really going to be able to really capitalize on opportunities in the future from the stakeholders you're working with right now. So do whatever you can. Make yourself accessible. People remember how they feel working with you. And if you can consistently deliver a positive experience to all stakeholders involved, that in itself will snowball into many more opportunities you cannot even fathom right now. I'm saying this because after doing this for many, many years, some of my best candidates, my best clients are from previous clients, are from previous candidates that I've worked with in the past. If I drop the ball on them, these opportunities today that I'm able to enjoy would never be able to happen. So focus on relationships, focus on doing the right thing, making yourself available, and I'm sure everything will work out just fine. So I hope this helps. Again, running a recruiting business can also be extremely fulfilling and fun, but at the same time, I just want to make sure that if you're embarking on this journey, not only will it change your life, hopefully for the better, but I just want to be able to be transparent and equip you with the necessary guides from my own experience that, hey, it can help make the ramp up a little bit less painful and shorter, hoping you can find success sooner. So very, very excited to hear about your journey. Let me know where you are, comment down below. Feel free to also reach out to me on Instagram, Discord, LinkedIn. Always happy to hear how you are doing and happy to help in any way. Hope you like this video, and we'll see you on the next one.